Okay guys, I'm back, and this is going to be part 2 of my games that were good but could have been great. And some of these issues or challenges or problems, they're not really game breaking in any sense of the word. So don't take it as if I'm complaining about a game because it's bad. I still love the games, but it's just that one little niggling issue that I have that doesn't hurt the game in any way, shape, or form. Just in my personal opinion, I thought would have made the game just a little bit better. Okay, first off is PSP's Avatar the Game. And I know movie-based games or anime-based games or whatever get a lot of heat for not being good games. But I'm a sucker for stealth games, and this game is a stealth game, and I really like it. Based off the James Cameron movie, which was garbage by the way, but the game is pretty good. My only problem is you only have like one or two weapons to use. Your bow and arrow, and I think you can use your bow and arrow almost like a club or something, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that part, but you can only use like your main bow and arrow. I thought the game, I thought the game would have been pretty cool if you could use more than just that one weapon. Maybe a gun or something, even if it had like maybe only 5 shots. But other than that, it's a good game. If you love stealth games and you have a PSP, I recommend it. Just an all-around good game. Some of the flying segments are a little, they're a little off, but other than that, it's a good game. Okay. Second up is PSP's SWAT Target Liberty. And if you grew up in the early 90s, you might remember the old series Police Quest. I think Westwood Studios, made that. I think it was Westwood. But anyway, this reminds me a lot of it. No, actually I think it's Sierra that made those games. Anyway, it's a good game. Just like the old games on PC back in the 90s. My only problem is I'll do a full review on this game one day. But my main problem is the maps are really huge, but your characters move so slow that it takes forever to get across the map. I swear one mission can take at least 45 minutes to an hour simply because of the movement speed. And you can upgrade your characters, but if I noticed a difference in the movement speed, it was really, really small, to the point where I almost didn't recognize the movement speed. Now, I didn't play the game all the way through, so maybe there's a big chance that the movement speed is increased to the point where you can tell. But as far as I've gotten, I didn't see a difference in movement speed whatsoever. And if I did, it was just really incremental, But other than that, SWAT Target Liberty, good game. Okay, next up, SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 3. And I've mentioned this before, but gonna mention it again. The only problem with this game is the instant action missions. The bad guys are in the same spot every time you play that mission. Unlike Fireteam Bravo 2, the instant action missions are different every time you play them. One may be to defuse a bomb. The next one may be to assassinate this drug dealer. The next one may be take photos of this evidence, But this one, the bad guys are always in the same spot, so you know where to shoot them at, takes away from it. But other than that, SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 3 is a good addition to the PSP if you have one. I haven't tried it on the Vita, so I don't know how that works, but good addition to your PSP library if you have one. Next up Batman Blackgate. Good game. It's a Metroidvania style game. I'll do a full review on this game one day because I finished it all the way through. My only problem is the map is really difficult to read. Other than that, it's a good game. Well, the map is hard to read, plus because you're going back from point A to point B, there's a whole section of prison area where there's no bad guys at because you've already beat them up. So you're going through chunks and chunks of empty spaces, empty hallways, empty rooms, so it takes away from it. And yeah, I know you beat them up, but you would think they could find a way around that, you know? Well, you beat them up, but while you were going over here, they managed to get loose of the, of their zip ties or whatever, zip cuffs, maybe some of their buddies untied them while you were gone over here, but that way they could have worked around the whole going back to the same empty places, where there was no bad guys. But other than that, Blackgate is a good game. Okay. Another title for the Vita, Odin Sphere, Leaf Racer, whatever it is. It's a remake of the PSP version. Good game, good action. My only problem is about maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours before the game actually ended, I was getting kind of tired of it because it was just long-winded. I think if they would have trimmed down the story, it would have been better. But it goes on for a little, at least an hour to an hour and a half longer than it needs to be, in my opinion now. In my opinion. Other than that, though, it's a good game. If you have a Vita and you want a good action game, get this game. As a matter of fact, get all of Vanillaware titles. Muramasa Rebirth, Dragon's Crown, and this one, Odin Sphere. Good game. And the last one is Sword Art Online Lost Song. It's a good game. A little way shorter than the first Sword Art Online game, which is Hollow Fragment. My main complaint is, with the exception of the game being too short, okay, you have the game mechanics where you're fighting the bad guys. You have a dodge button, which is fine because, when the enemy attacks, you can dodge out the way. But the enemies aren't really aggressive. So you can attack them, and by the time they really want to attack back, you've already beat them, Number two, the fact that you can fly. So the fact of having a dodge button is kind of pointless because you can attack, and then when the bad guys swing at you to hit you, you can fly over them. So it kind of makes that dodge button pointless, But other than that, it's a decent game. And guys, that's it for part 2 of games that are good but could have been great. Alright, I'm signing off.